A principal in one of the school, that was the time of Yahaya Bello government, he was not paying them salary. How can you be paying a headmaster 7,000 naira and these people were not lying? But then when he was in the government, he will come on the air telling the people that he's paying them salary. In short, my in-law, the man is late. Now, my in-law told me he was a headmaster, also a politician, a politician and also a headmaster. He said what they used to pay them is 7,000, that he'll be paying them small, but the same man had that kind of mind to carry that kind of money from the post of the state government to pay for his family. Present suffering and what I call suffering and that we are facing in Nigeria. To me, God is aware. God is aware. You know, one thing about God is that there is nothing that happens that God will not permit. Now, the suffering that we are talking about today, do you know that it is the will of God? Today, God has proven to the political elite, to the citizens of Nigeria, that Him alone is God. Like what we are seeing today, the kidnapping, I just explained what God showed me in 2013, 2014. You know, one thing about politicians is that they can do anything to be in power. They can do anything to be in power. So, like this kidnapping that you are seeing, if you can remember when the election was about taking place, the kidnapping ceased. But the moment the new government comes in again, the kidnapping continues. So you now discover that this thing that we are seeing in Nigeria is a human factor. Like what I said when we started the interview, I said God knows everything that happened. He knows everything that happened. You know, I remembered when I was in Benin in 2013, 2014, when I was working, this thing that is happening, the Lord showed me this issue that is happening in Nigeria. I remember He told one of my co-workers, Chubike, I think he lived around Sango. So I told him, I said that we Nigerians know what is coming ahead. That was in 2013, 2014, before I moved down to Benin. You know. So I said, Jonathan will lose the election. Buhari is going to be the next president, but there's going to be killings and kidnapping. So when Jonathan lost the election, me and Chubike was even in Benin, the same apartment in Benin. So he said, James, you said that Jonathan is going to lose. I said, but this government, we are going to face a lot. That was then in 2014, 2015. So, and eventually, Buhari came in as the president of APC. You know, we started experiencing killing. One day, Chubike called me. He said, Pastor James, you said this. So I said, it was not me, because the picture was clear. The Lord showed me that this is. I think what I'm seeing in this government, since this APC came into government, it has not been so easy to the citizens and to everybody. So this government need to sit up and also work hard, because they also know what is going on concerning the present situation in Nigeria. So to me and to my own position, since this government came into power, there has been a lot of challenges which they are not ready to actually work out. So my prayer for them is that the Lord will see them through and also know the right decision to take that will help the citizens.
Okay, so the suffering, hardship everywhere, you say, what's the position of God about it?
God is aware of everything. He's aware.
So what do you mean? How do you mean God is aware? Is it that God just wants His children in Nigeria to suffer?
Yeah, no, He wants us to, you know, that's why He said that God is aware. He is aware that this suffering that the citizen of Nigeria is going through is aware. Because if it is not aware, He won't permit it. You know, our God is all-knowing God. He's all-knowing God. Our God is a God of good times and bad times, according to His word in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. You know, so whatever that we see here on earth, God permits it because every power belongs to him. Now, the present suffering, and what I would like, or suffering and that we are facing in Nigeria, to me, God is aware. God is aware. You know, one thing about God is that there is nothing that happens that God will not permit. Now, when I remember when we were still young, what we are seeing today was not like that. But today, a lot of people are crying. Now, the suffering that we are talking about today, do you know that it is the will of God? Today, God has proven to the political elite, to the citizens of Nigeria, that him alone is God. Number two is this trial that we are going through also. Do you know that through this trial, a lot of people have also given their life to God? They have realized that without this, where can we run to? Where can we go to? So a lot of people have actually given their life to Christ. You know, what we are seeing today is not new, it's biblical. In Genesis chapter 1, the Bible said that it came to pass when men were selling their children because of the suffering. But, however, in this suffering, God is just trying to tell us that He is God. His children will not be a partaker of this suffering. That's why Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 18 said, he said, in all this suffering, we should give God praise because God knows everything.
So, is there going to be any kind of solution? Or?
Yeah, there's going to be a solution if we keep on praying and the government can do the right thing. There's going to be a solution because God will not come down here to come and give solution. It is man that He will use. So there's going to be a solution if the government sits up and do the right thing.
So what about let's say put the suffering aside, the banditry and kidnapping everywhere. So I think especially the kidnapping is even on a very high side now, and people are being killed. So does that make God also permit that?
Yeah, you know, sometime in life, there's what we call human factor. Like what we are seeing today, the kidnapping, I just explained what God showed me in 2013, 2014. You know, one thing about politicians is that they can do anything to be in power. They can do anything to be in power. So, like this kidnapping that you are seeing, if you can remember when the election was about taking place, the kidnapping ceased. But the moment the new government comes in again, the kidnapping continues. So you now discover that this thing that we are seeing in Nigeria is a human factor. It's a human factor. So that's why I say that the government, if they can do the right thing, this kidnapping will stop and this suffering will stop. The advice I have for the government of Nigeria is they should sit upright and do the right thing. Because some of them traveled outside the country, they see how other countries are being run. So also they should also initiate that policy outside the country so that this country will change for better, not for worse. So that's my advice for the government.
Recently, Yahaya Bello is just running a task getter. I can't imagine can someone be so wicked. After all the money he has stolen from the state, he still transferred $720,000 to the school of the children to pay in advance because you know you were leaving office soon. How can one? And it's not the only one, that's how most of the politicians. So is God happy with the Nigerian politicians?
In fact, on Sunday I was preaching about the authority in the word of the Lord, and I told them, I said the politicians all over the world, these people don't have the fear of God. Forget about they will come to the press, they will come to the social media telling you, we love you, we love you. They don't love. Do you know why I'm saying that? Is that especially the Nigerian politician. This Yahaya Bello, thank God that he happens to come from my state. We are from the same tribe, from Okene. You know, I remember in 2020, I think 2022, 2023, I was in Benin, in Okwela. Then from Okwela, I moved to Abocho to go and do a crusade. Abocho is close to Ayangba. Now, a principal in one of the school, that was the time of Yahaya Bello government. He was not paying them salary. How can you be paying a headmaster 7,000 naira and these people were not lying? But then when he was in the government, he will come on the air telling the people that he's paying them salary. In short, my in-law, the man is late. Now, my in-law told me he was a headmaster, also a politician, a politician and also a headmaster. He said what they used to pay them is 7,000, that he'll be paying them small, but the same man had that kind of mind to carry that kind of money from the post of the state government to pay it for his family. So Nigerian politicians are not really helping matters in this country. They are not helping matters. Somebody pays school fees from 2012 to 2034. So convert that money to Nigerian currency. Do you know how much? 2034 to 34. So you will never know that most of them are doing until when they leave government. In short, like even the Kaduna governor, El-Rufai, now the present governor, so they should go and bring all the transactions that El-Rufai made from 2015 till date. Because those they have able to discover that these people, they are not sincere with the Nigerians. So the advice I have for the Nigerian politicians, they should change their ways. They should go and ask Nebuchadnezzar how God dealt with him. When Nebuchadnezzar thought that he was bigger than God, and he came one day, stood on his throne and said, oh, all this beauty, all this money, I acquired them by my power. And God said, you, and the Bible said that God turned Nebuchadnezzar to an animal. He stayed there for 7 years. So they should go and read the word of God. Please, Nigerian politicians, is the high time most of them start changing and have the fear of God. If they have the fear of God, what we are facing in this country, we won't face it. We won't face it. Because the man that have the fear of God, we know that what he's doing is wrong. So the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. God bless you.